So a bit about me. Like I work at Geodan. Geodan is a reasonably big company. It has some research department, which means that I can do fun stuff while other people earn money. And this is one of the projects we come up with. I mainly work on new ways to work with maps. I think everybody should have read, if not have read the blogs of on why map portals don't work. I'm one of the big fans of that storyline, and I try to explain it to my company. But to have a new way of working with maps, we invented COW. So what is COW? COW is short for Collaborative Online WebGIS. We first came with COW, then with REST, as you can understand. So what is COW? I can give you the short answer, and then if you don't like it, you can leave. You can also stay for the whole explanation. The short answer is that it's basically a Google Doc for maps. There's some new technology, and when I looked at it, I thought, oh, it could make sort of Google Doc for maps. Before I dive into the technology and before everybody is allowed to sit on their mobile and I won't be offended, I'll first explain a bit about the terms and ideas behind it. I start with me. So I'm somewhere, I'm looking at England. And then I have a friend which I'm talking to, and he says, yeah, I'm also looking at England and I'm seeing this. Well, the British people will already see what went wrong. One person didn't look to England, he looked to the UK, and the other one is this one, the peer. So me and my peer. And then a third one could also be looking to England and has a bigger screen, so just sees the whole of Europe. So they all are peers, they all are together in what we call a herd. Has nothing to do with the name of the application, obviously. Well, these are working together, and we have a server component that's very tiny. It's called cache. If you're very good, you can read it's a Node.js thingy. So the different peers in the herd are talking to each other, but they still need a connection with cache, and there could be multiple herds all working together. And then the interesting bit is instead of having to somehow communicate that you're looking at England, is that you could see where the other one is looking. So you have a rectangle of your of the extent of what the other person is seeing. Similar as in Google Docs, you can see the, where the other one is editing. You see the small eye icon with the name and color. And well, that doesn't really work if you're zoomed in too much. Then you don't see the extent of the other person because it's just bigger. So the third person would be able to see that one is looking at England and the other one is looking to the UK and Ireland. So this is all nice. So everybody knows what the other person is looking at. It becomes more interesting if you can also do feature editing. So then you can suddenly start working together. I draw something on the map. I tell the other ones, yeah, I draw something. Where are you looking at? So, and you see, okay, he's looking at this piece of the map, and you can see, okay, it looks cool. And so, how does it work? I have my phone here. Have to unlock it. And let's see, yeah, you see me moving. Let's move the other way, and then moving a bit more. So currently I'm looking, I'll zoom out a bit. Again to Nottingham. And well, these are all the people connected in this herd. This one is my computer at home where I accidentally left on. This one is me, and this one is the computer here. And this is just to have an idea of there's traffic going on. Only when I do something there's traffic, and otherwise there's nothing going on. So I can do this. I can also start drawing here something. So I do draw a square there. And also, this laptop is really old. Yeah, so I can do something. Can say hi. Done. And then it should say hi. Not really doing that. I can edit this one. Then it's more easy here to do. So I can put here. Done. So this way everybody can work together and can draw. As you can see, it works instantly even on this fantastic Wi-Fi we have here. So how does it work? And this is the technical bit, and that might be a bit boring, so that's why I put the URL of the application. It's a bit, I hacked it in last week, so it's a bit buggy. It only works because it uses new technologies that appeared early this year, last year. So you need to have either Chrome or Firefox or iOS 6 or 7, I believe. But feel free to join now. I see people joining. One thing I forgot in the application, there's a green dot on the right corner. If you press there, you should be able to change your name. But okay, so everybody is joining, and I can do the technical bit. The trick behind this application is called secure WebSockets. That's a new protocol. It helps with the direct communication. The problem of having real-time communication over the internet is that if you talk to a server, they tend to have a firewall around them. And so if you want to talk to the server, you first need to go to the server, and then the server knows, oh, you're there, and then it can talk back. If a second peer arrives and he wants to talk to the server, yeah, same goes. But if he wants to talk to you, he cannot just send a message to you, because the server cannot talk to you. It can only talk to you if you ask the server for it first. So you have to wait for the other one to say, well, let's see if there's something new, and then there's something new, and then you'll get the answer. WebSockets solve that by making what effectively is a direct secure tunnel to the server, where all communications can go both ways. So if the server has something to say to the client, it will do so, and will do so directly. More people coming. And but this is called secure WebSockets. There's also normal WebSockets. That's the one is WS, and the secure WebSockets is WSS. The reason I use secure WebSockets is because since it's such a new protocol, all routers and firewalls, most routers and firewalls don't understand it. And what happens with normal WebSockets is that sometimes the router will try to understand it and mess it up, and then everything breaks. Secure WebSockets, they're both secure and just cut through everything because they think, the routers think it's an HTTPS thing. The other interesting bit about this application, and that's not necessarily the real-time communication side of it, is the disconnected communication side of it. Because as we all know, every once in a while, especially on mobile, your network will fail. You get disconnected for a short or a long time. And if you're working on something, for instance, you're doing like field observations, and you're writing in your you editing in your features, you don't want to suddenly stop working because you lost your internet connection. So another new HTML5 thingy is called IndexeDB. This is a local storage in the browser which can take as much as your device has. So I think at some limit, at some point the browser will say, well, it's taking a whole lot of space, are you sure? But other than that, you can take whatever. So you can also cache all the tiles of your region you want to go to. So that works like this. Normally, yeah. So normally you have a connection with your server, and if you edit something, you can send it to the other guy. If for some reason your connection breaks, you're on your own, but you can still edit. It will store it locally in the database of the mobile device, and once you get connected, so he doesn't know anything. Once you get connected, yes. Once you get connected, it will sync everything, and everybody's happy. Yeah, everybody is doing. Oh, there's also that's a hidden feature I did not say, but you can also create a new word where you say, well, I'll do that here. I want just to work with you. Well, you're not working, so that's easy sharing. Then it will show here, I think, if I say new I join. Come on, I've joined. Well, you can have multiple herds, but for some reason I'm not really joining it. There I went. Now I'm in a new herd. And so you can have like multiple working groups working together in their own subset of the application. And if you're in one herd, you don't have the information of the other herd. Another thing, well, you can see that, well, that's a bit hard to see because there are too many people, but it uses the Geolocation API. It's also an HTML5 thingy, so you know where you are. It will use your GPS or your or Wi-Fi to put you on the map, so you can see what the person is looking at. So that's the extent. You can also see where the person is at. And that's one. This fancy stuff, we mainly did it to do some kind of monitoring on who is using it. That's all D3. There's some nice animations in there as well, but you don't see them. That's also D3. It's fun to work with D3, and we do fun stuff. So. We use Openlayers. Everybody at work asks, why didn't you use Leaflet? But Leaflet is nice, but Openlayers is great. That's basically the thing. Leaflet doesn't do drawing on a mobile device very well. What else? Well, Node.js, I talked about it. And the other thing, because like I said, this whole WebSockets is really new. There's not much support on it on the server side. When we started, and we needed to have it behind firewall, and we need reverse proxying, whatever. And we discovered this HA proxy. It's not very well known, but it's really awesome. If you need some kind of high availability, hence the name, proxying, that one is your friend. So, what's next? Oh, a lot of time at least. You need to have a chat function. That's pretty obvious. If you work together, you want to have a chat function. So, if you look at WebSockets, most examples are a chat function. So we didn't do it yet, but at some point we want to include it and do something more intelligent than just a chat. We want to do something with maps and geo chatting or whatever. I haven't really thought about it yet. rights management. Some people in the company find it interesting and decided that, well, some people are more equal than others, so we need to figure out, because now everybody can just delete everything. It's basically OpenStreetMap without history at all. OpenStreetMap has some history at least. And what else? Cross-herd sharing. We still need a more fancy term, but if you're in one herd, you can not take your features to the other herd, and that might be useful. What else? Well, other stuff probably. And especially these two, they come from, there's in Holland a very nice geo location event thingy called Geofort. If you ever come to Holland and you either have a car or a helicopter, go to Geofort. It's impossible to reach, but really fun to be there. And they want to tell people about the power of geo. And one of the many good things of geo is during disaster, it's good to know where people are, what's happening, where things break down, where the actual disasters, where the fireman is. And this kind of application, so the real-time, offline, online sharing of geodata would be nice for disaster management game, where like mayors and firemen, they come to the Geofort and then they see how it works. And there, this right management, because the mayor can make some decisions, but the fire chief cannot. So some people may say are allowed to do some things and others aren't.
So cross-herd sharing, you said that some people, you can't take your features to another herd.
Yeah.
So is geo features, are you talking points, nodes, what do you?
Point lines and polygons. So everything you draw on the map, it stays within your herd.
Within your herd, okay.
So what happens in the herd stays in the herd.
Okay.
So, are there more questions? We already started the questions. So are there more questions? I'll still quick.
Is it open source?
Yes. I couldn't get SSH to my presentation working, but it's on GitHub. It's GitHub /geodan-cow. For some reason, people at Geodan did it with a capital G. I don't like it, but well, that's the way it is. Yeah, and we will be working on it, and you're welcome to join or play with it. Both the client and the server component are there. We're also working on what's called a PRES version. PRES is a peer-to-peer protocol, but on the JavaScript made with WebRTC, which is another new protocol, real-time communication protocol that's coming up. But the PRES API changes every 2 weeks, so it might be hidden somewhere in our code base, but once the PRES API stabilizes, then we produce that one as well. Well, you can follow me on Twitter, and you can email me with questions.
What about microtasking?
How do you mean?
Well, say you're in a herd, say you have many herds, and you want to assign them each a area to work in.
Oh, like geofence, this is your area to work on.
Yeah, it's microtasking.
Yeah. That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I did not think about that.
Yeah.
It has to do a bit with the rights management, because then you are going to limit people to certain areas. Where you say, well, this is your area you have to work on, but that shouldn't be too hard. Just isn't done. Like so many things aren't done.
Yeah, this would be an explicit, you're in this
Yeah.
hexagon or whatever, and then there could be someone like in a remote place that's looking at other images and chatting with them and saying, I see, you know, on this imagery this, go check it out. You know, I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
just stuff, fun stuff like that.
We also because now it's just one base map. We're also like where you can say, well, I'm looking at these and these layers, so you can take over someone's view and get their layers or their imagery, especially like satellite imagery, where we have different satellite imagery. I'm now looking at the one from July, and then instead of having to find out on your map portal which one it is, you just take it over the view of the other person.
And is there I missed the beginning, I apologize. Is there the ability to do, you said something about peer-to-peer transmission of data?
Yeah.
Are you doing that? So you could use Bluetooth to you know, let's just say you don't have wireless internet or cell
I
capacity.
think you need, I'm not entirely sure, but I think you always need to have some kind of HTTP connection going. You can have like an ad hoc network, so that will work.
Oh,
But I
that's
don't
good.
think you can do it on Bluetooth or NFC.
Okay.
And an ad hoc network requires what?
Well, we did some stuff with the fire department doing forest fires, and then they had one truck which had boosted Wi-Fi, so they would create a local Wi-Fi network without any internet, but that you they would communicate with each other. Yeah.
In terms of rights, what do you think, you know, restrict a user to edit just a layer and don't allow her to edit the other layers, something like that? Or?
Yes, the cross-herd sharing is one where some people can do it, some people can't. Deletion of features, everybody can create new features, but only certain people can remove them, that kind of stuff.
When you use HTML5, what's about the support, or do you know about difficulties in different browsers?
Yes, because we use WebSockets, and there are not many browsers out there who do WebSockets. So like I said, it's Chrome, it's Firefox, IA10 I believe, I'm not sure. Safari, not on iOS 5, iOS 6 I believe, iOS 7. We use IndexeDB, which is also not supported everywhere. Like I said, it's research, so we're also a bit like, well, we don't care about the old stuff. But it makes life for me a lot easier.
You don't care about
the old stuff. So if you're
okay,
using IA8,
so
well, I'm sorry, I don't care.
Okay.
And what I also at the some mobile development applications for actual customers, PlayStation check. And basically they all say, well, we just take one device and we develop for that, and everybody will within that company will use that one device.
Oh my god.
Mobile development is really hard.
It is, I know.
And so I say if you can run Chrome on your device, that's quite a lot of devices can do that. Well,
You mean one type of device, not just one single device.
one type of device, yeah.
Okay,
But there was
Okay,
just this
we will-
one tablet they supported, and they had like tons of tablets. So otherwise, it would be kind of silly. You just have one device in the whole company.
Yeah.
Long out with my device.
Yeah.
We share our data. Pass on the device.
Okay, Sue, it's your time to go out.
All right.
Any further questions?
Excellent.
This is not the case. Thanks again.